Hello, yes, this is Suresh Kumar, lecturer in zoology, working in SRR Government Degree College of Telangana State. So, yesterday we learned some contents concerned to physiology of digestion in the Biology for All by Suresh channel, YouTube channel. Today we are going to discuss third content in this unit. So this is our day 3 lesson, online lesson, belongs to SEM 5 and SEM 3 students. The topic is human digestive system. We are going to discuss about human digestive system. It is very useful in our daily life. So listen carefully and observe the visuals carefully, and it will be helpful, clear understand to you, and it is very useful to uh, all competitive exams also. So many questions asked in competitive examinations from it. So before going to learn human digestive system, first of all we will recapitulate the topics. Yesterday in last previous lessons we finished about intracellular digestion, mechanism of extracellular digestion, and status of digestive system that present in invertebrate animals, invertebrate phyla. In the same manner the status of digestive system in chordates also. So let us we will discuss about human digestive system. The human digestive system, commonly called as fuel provider and life sustainer. You observe this visual, the prominent digestive tract along with the digestive glands are clearly visible in this visual. So this is our human digestive system. The human digestive system contain mainly, you observe, this is human digestive system. The human digestive system contain mainly two parts, that is alimentary canal, also called digestive tract, and digestive glands also. In lower classes also already you got idea about digestive system. Alimentary canal, it is a tube-like structure. Digestive tract is a tubular structure, and it also associated with the digestive glands that are required for digestion of the food material. So now in detail we will discuss about alimentary canal. The alimentary canal is a tubular, coiled tubular structure arise from endoderm germinal layer. Remember it, important thing it is, asked in entrance examination. It derived from endoderm germinal layer during the development digestive tract. So the helminth, platyhelminth worms possess digestive tract with a single opening, and in annelid nematode onward up to chordata, the digestive tract contains two openings. The anterior opening is called mouth and posterior opening is called anal opening. So the digestive tract starts with mouth and ends with anus. In case of protostome phyla, the mouth develop, the blastopore develops as mouth. In case of deuterostomes, in the embryonic condition, the blastopore aperture develops as anus, opposite to it, mouth to be developed. So that is the difference. So these two are converse things concerned to alimentary canal and digestive tract. You observe this visual, clear digestive tract is there. In what way the food material is moving in coiled tube also clearly visible, and the alimentary canal formed by various, it compiled with various kinds of tissues. So that to be learned in section of the alimentary canal in next classes. The alimentary canal contain various kinds of parts. So that is a differentiation. So the alimentary canal is a long coil tube. It starts with mouth and ends with the anus. So it comprises various kinds of parts. You observe this visual. In this visual clearly. So the mouth opening, that starting opening is mouth and the terminal opening is anus. In between mouth and anus, sequentially you observe various kinds of parts are associated. So, what are the parts that associated with alimentary canal? Let us we will observe. So, the human digestive system, alimentary canal, human digestive system contain mainly two parts. Already I told, that is digestive tract and digestive glands. The digestive tract sequentially contain these parts. You observe, that is mouth and buccal cavity, first part, and second part is pharynx, and third one esophagus, and fourth part is stomach, otherwise also called as gaster, and fifth part is small intestine, and sixth part large intestine, and terminal part is anus. All these are major parts that are seated along the length of the alimentary canal, our digestive tract. So it is associated with the digestive glands. In subsequent classes in detail we will discuss about digestive glands. So first let us we will we attain knowledge regarding alimentary canal. So first in detail we will discuss digestive tract parts. You observe labeled parts are present in this visual. You have to compare all these parts are clearly present in that visual. And next in detail we are going to discuss the parts of alimentary canal. Now the alimentary canal, the digestive tract contain, the first part is mouth and it lead into buccal cavity, oral cavity. The mouth and buccal cavity contains sequentially, you observe first part is vestibule, so again it include vestibule, and next subsequent part is oral cavity. The oral cavity again include various kinds of parts. They are, you observe palate, that is one, another part is palate, and tongue, and next teeth. Three parts are associated with oral cavity. And next you observe the subsequent part of the buccal cavity, pharynx. It also include three parts again. It is differentiated as three regions: nasopharynx and oropharynx and laryngopharynx. So in detail we will discuss all these things with the diagrams in subsequent classes. Just you have to follow the sequence of the alimentary canal, and you have the by heart the parts whatever present sequentially along the length of the alimentary canal. Why? Because based on sequence the questions to be raised in entrance examination, and description management is very easy. So we will uh, only any one kind of part, about any kind of one part, otherwise total alimentary canal the description to be asked. But in case of entrance examination, sequence, property based, like that questions to be raised. So in detail we will discuss later. The pharynx leads into next esophagus, then the esophagus leads into stomach. The stomach again contain four regions. They are sequentially differentiated as cardiac part and fundus part, body, and pyloric part. So sequentially you observe all these parts are, I am discussing from anterior and to posterior direction. So mouth present anterior end to the individual, anus seated posterior end of the body. So you have to, suppose in entrance examination, if all these parts randomly given in question and ask the arrange them in sequence from anterior to posterior direction or posterior to anterior direction. So definitely you must compulsory get a good command on sequence, and as well as the specific part contain what subparts, that is important. Stomach differentiated as cardiac, fundus, body, pyloric part. Sequentially the learning is required. If sequence lost, you lost the marks. So compulsory sequence is important. So next, the stomach leads into small intestine. The small intestine also contain, again, the small intestine again contain three regions. They are duodenum, jejunum and ileum. Three parts are present sequentially, D, J, I. Sequence you have to maintain. And large intestine, the large intestine, the large intestine again include four parts: cecum and appendix and colon and rectum, anal canal. So you observe this is human digestive tract from mouth to anal. In detail, all parts are labeled in the diagram. In examination, ask the diagram, draw a neat label diagram of the system of the human being. So this diagram is helpful to you. So next, uh, first part of our digestive tract, mouth. What is mouth? What is mouth? Mouth is terminal part of the alimentary, first part of the alimentary canal, bounded by what? Movable lips, upper lip and lower lip. The mouth lead into oral cavity or buccal cavity. So before leading to mouth, oral cavity, we found a prominent structure, that is vestibule. So now let us we will discuss about vestibule. Vestibule is a slit-like space. It is a slit-like space that present between lips and gums. So its outer surface, external surface, bordered by lips, and inner surface bordered by gums. So in daily morning we will brush the teeth. At that time the brush will move in the space, that is vestibule. The space, the slit like space is called what? Vestibule. So that present between lips and gums. And next, the mouth is useful for what? Ingestion of the food. So next, the mouth lead into oral cavity or buccal cavity. Next, you observe space between lips and gums, slit like space. Outside it bounded by movable lips, internally by lips and teeth. That is about vestibule. Now we are going to discuss about buccal cavity, oral cavity. The mouth lead into a wider space cavity, that is called buccal cavity, also called as oral cavity. If we observe oral cavity, already we discussed it, include three parts. They are palate and next tongue and as well as teeth. So the first part of our buccal, what is buccal cavity? Do you have idea? What is buccal cavity? Already you learn in lower classes. The space present between two jaws, that is called what? Buccal cavity. So the buccal cavity contain first part palate. The palate is a bony plate. It is the roof of the buccal cavity. The oral cavity is called palate. It is a bony plate that divides upper nasal chamber from oral cavity, by which the simultaneous chewing and breathing is possible with the palate. So if palate is not there, the simultaneous breathing and chewing not possible. Why? Because our respiratory tract, the upper our respiratory tract and as well as the lower alimentary canal tract, both are coincide in pharyngeal region. So breathing, the movement of respiratory gases along the upper tract and movement of the food material lower tract. So the upper and lower tract, these two tracts at buccal cavity region separated by a plate, that is palate. So let us you observe the find out the palate in this visual section diagram. Anatomy of buccal cavity. So yellow color and as well as orange color plate, bony plate is present, that is palate. So palate bone supported with palate bone, that is. Next, if we observe the palate, you observe right side visual, that is upper surface, roof of our buccal cavity, oral cavity. So if we observe in our mirror, if we observe in mirror, we clearly found all these things. So that is palate. If we observe the palate, it differentiated as two regions. Anterior region means forward region. This is anterior. Backside is posterior region. So in anterior region, the palate is very hot. You have to sensitize with your tongue. You touch the palate towards anterior side. It's very hard. So that is hard palate. And you observe the hard palate. On hard palate, grooves are present, ridges are present here. So that ridges are called what? Rugae. In case of ruminants, in case of herbivores, they are abundant present. But if we are omnivorous, we consume both plant material and animal material. So they present in little amount. So they are called rugae. Next, posterior end of the palate you observe. So at the post end of the palate, it contains soft tissue, delicate connective tissue. So that is called, that region is called soft palate. From the soft palate, again a delicate soft connective tissue made up of cylindrical structure hangs downwards. A soft the cylinder like structure made up of with soft delicate connective tissue, so that is called uvula. So that uvula also prevents the entry of food particles into respiratory tract, allows the simultaneous breathing and chewing also. Like palate is a part of palate, of course. So next is the roof of buccal cavity, and anterior hard region is called hard palate, and its ridges are called rugae, and posterior uh, softer region called posterior softer region called soft palate, and softer cylindrical part, it is called uvula. Next, another part of the alimentary canal, tongue. So you observe this visual tongue. It is commonly called as universal toothbrush. It is a muscular organ, movable organ, movable muscular structure made up of with striated muscles. So muscular tissue is one kind of tissue in our body. Our in animals, the body constructed with the four variants of tissues. They are epithelial tissue, connective tissue, muscle tissue, nervous tissue. So here the tongue is a muscular organ, movable muscular organ it is, and made up that constructed with striped muscles, striated muscle. That is one variant of muscle. It is important point, useful in entrance examination, and as well as it is a voluntary organ. All striped muscles are voluntary muscles. So voluntary organ. So if we observe the tongue, it is a cylindrical shape muscular organ that's seated in oral cavity. It attached at back side, posterior side with the connective tissue with the floor of the buccal cavity, and its terminal end is free. So our tongue terminal end is free, and at posterior side it attaches with the back side, it attaches with the floor of the buccal cavity, you remember. If we observe some other individuals, it, if we observe some other individual, for example frog in reptiles, The tongue attaches at tip anterior end. The posterior end is free and it folded backside. That is called aversible tongue. But our tongue is not aversible tongue. So our tongue attached at backside. And as well as you observe the tongue where it attached with the flora of buccal cavity, a soft delicate connective tissue is present, and that delicate tissue that connects the tongue with the flora of the buccal cavity, that connective tissue is called frenulum. So the tongue attached with the frenulum, you observe that visual clearly. I labeled the frenulum with the blue color arrow, that is frenulum. At the base of frenulum, you observe two openings also present. They are salivary gland duct openings. So next, if we observe the surface of the tongue, surface. Before slide, we discussed floor of the tongue, lower surface of the tongue. Now we are going to discuss upper surface of the tongue. You observe this is the visual upper surface of the tongue. At along the middle line, you observe a groove is present. A deeper groove is present. The deeper groove is called median sulcus. That is median sulcus. And next, behind the median sulcus at posterior end, you observe inverted V-shape furrow is present. One more furrow is present. Inverted shape. Green color marked structure you observe. Inverted V-shape furrow is present. That is called sulcus terminalis. So if we observed sulcus terminal at the tip of the sulcus terminalis, otherwise at the tip of the median sulcus, where the sulcus terminalis and the median sulcus coincide and arrow shape mark to be established, there one pit is present. You observe clearly present in that visual. So the pit is called the depression, the aperture like pit is called foramen cecum. It is called as foramen cecum. And as well as you observe tongue, on surface of the tongue it's not smooth. So on the surface of the tongue, nodule-like structures are present, projections are present. All these nodule-like structures are called what? Papillae. Commonly they called as taste buds. In native, commonly we refer them as what? Taste buds. But that projections, you observe nodule-like structure, bird-like structures are present. These projections are called papillae. Or you observe this visual on the surface of the tongue, clearly nodule-like structures are present. They call taste buds. And next, if we observe these papillae or taste buds, human being tongue possesses four variants of taste buds located in different regions of the tongue. So we are you already you observe this visual nodule-like structures are present. So first posterior end you observe. Posterior means back side of the tongue. So at posterior end of the tongue, prominent circumvallate papillae present, V-shaped or semicircular, semi-lunar shaped arrangement you observed backside. So that is circumvallate papillae. The second variant, filiform papillae, they are located at center portion of the tongue. And the third variant is fungiform papillae. They present at terminal end, tip of the tongue, fungiform papillae. And next, at the base of the tongue, foliate form papillae. So four variants of papillae are present. So they are circumvallate, filiform, fungiform, and foliate form papillae. Remember the terms and as well as their locations. According to based on location, ask the questions in entrance examination. For example, foliate form papillae location, the base of the tongue, posterior side, posterior end of the tongue, like that. Circumvallate papillae also posterior side. The anterior end of the tongue, bears fungiform papilla like that. Next, middle portion, the central portion of the tongue bears filiform papilla like that. You have to find out. You observe this visual, and labeling is very clear. And next, now we are going to discuss in detail about each and every papillae. So at posterior end of the tongue, circumvallate papillae are present. Blue color marked papillae you observe, semicircular shape, blue color marked circumvallate papillae you observe. These are largest papillae, larger size papillae. They contain about more than 100 taste buds. Each papillae contain more than 100 taste buds. So next variant of the papillae, fungiform papillae. They present at terminal and tip of the tongue. Observe blue color arrow mark, yellow color buds are there. So they are fungiform papillae. They are oval in shape, round in shape. And next contain approximately 5 to 10 taste buds. Okay. Next, third variant, filiform papillae. At center they are present. You observe green color marks are provided. So that is filiform papillae. These are smallest papillae and numerous papillae. Largest papillae are circumvallate. Um, numerous next smallest numerous papillae are filiform papillae. And next, one more significant of filiform papillae, they lack taste buds and but contain tactile receptors. Tactile receptors for what purpose? They perceive the sense of touch. Our tongue capable to perceive the sense of touch and capable to perceive the heat and other cool like other sensations also. So these papillae, filiform papillae contain tactile receptors. They are capable to perceive sense of touch. So next, now we are going to discuss about the last posterior end papillae. They are foliate form papillae. These are leaf-like papillae. So blue color arrow mark you verify at side of the tongue, lateral margin of the tongue at posterior end, leaf-like projections are there. They called foliate form papillae. In case of herbivores, they are abundant, but in human being, they are in reduced in condition. Okay, they will appear and found, but reduced in condition. In case of other animals, other mammals, they are well developed. These are leaf-like papillae. And so four variants of papillae we discussed. So abundant papillae, largest papillae are circumvallate papillae, numerous papillae are filiform papillae. The papillae without lack taste buds are filiform papillae. So next, reduced papillae are foliate papillae. So before going to learn the function of the tongue, so let us observe the papillae, nothing but already we discussed taste buds. The taste buds perceives the sense of the taste. So they facilitated, they attained such, according to their function, they attained that organization. You observe the clear image provided here about a taste bud, cylindrical shape and spindle shape cells are present in that cell. In the taste buds you observe prominent nucleus, yellow color nucleus, green, red and green color cells are provided. Spindle shaped cells, they are uh, neural cells. At the base of the cell you observe neural endings are terminated. So the each and every taste bud compiled taste bud cells connected with the nerve terminal endings by which they capable to perceive the sense of taste. So the recognition of taste uh, mm, uh, produced mediated by chemoreceptors. So next, at right side diagram you observe four variants of taste buds appeared in what in shape. Clearly four variants of taste bud shapes are provided. Let us we will discuss the four taste areas of the tongue. Our tongue contain mainly four taste areas. The primary tastes or four variants are there. They are sweet, salt, sour and bitter. In our daily life we perceive different kinds of tastes. We perceive different kinds of tastes. That tastes are mixture of all these four tastes. The primary tastes are four. They are sweet, salt, sour and bitter. Sequentially you observe in this visual, the sweet is perceived at a terminal end of the tongue. Tip of the tongue perceives the sweet. There what type of papilla located? You have idea already. We discussed that thing. What variant of papilla is seated at the tip of the tongue? Fungiform papilla. So they perceive the sweet. And behind it, lateral side, you observe salt taste to be recognized. So behind the sweet, that behind the taste buds of behind that tip, the entire area of the tongue perceives the salt. And next, at posterior margin you observe behind it sore, and complete posterior backside of the tongue, um, it perceives bitter taste. Okay, clear. So these are the four taste areas. And the bitter taste mainly what circumvallate papillae and foliate papillae to be involved in the perception of the bitter taste. And mainly the fungiform papillae involved in the fungiform, and some of the foliate form involved in the perception of the salt and sour taste. So these are the four tastes that perceived by our tongue. So let us we are going to discuss the functions of the tongue. So already we discussed that the tongue commonly called as universal toothbrush. Why it named as universal toothbrush? So it cleans the teeth and gums also, and oral cavity, buccal cavity, roof of the buccal cavity, floor of the buccal cavity, maintains neat cleanness, and with the help of enzyme present in saliva, it kills the microbes also, bacteria also. That's why it commented as universal toothbrush. And one more function of the tongue, it facilitates chewing. At the time of while chewing, you have to observe. With the help of tongue, we can pushes the food material in between the teeth. So it also facilitates chewing. And one more function, it facilitates swallowing. Swallowing also termed as deglutition. So further terms, technical terms are more important to get success in entrance examination. You remember the tongue also facilitate swallowing phenomena and deglutition function also. And the tongue also facilitate the speaking. According to movement of the tongue, we can pronounce the various kinds of terms, so that is useful in speech and speaking. And next, one more important function, the tongue meant for taste. It is a sense organ for taste. It perceives the sense of taste. And one more function, it facilitate mixing of saliva. It also uh, mediates the mixing of food. The food It facilitates the mixing of saliva with food at the time of chewing. by which the food material, whatever we chewed, whatever we masticated, that food material entirely mixed with saliva in buccal cavity, oral cavity, in our with the help of tongue. So that's why it also facilitates digestion phenomenon. Hence, it termed as accessory digestive organ. Generally, um, digestive, of course, stomach is digestive organ like that, but tongue also digest accessory digestive organ. Why? Because it facilitating mixing of saliva. So saliva is the digestive juice that promotes the digestion of food material, carbohydrates in oral cavity. So once again we um, discussed about functions of the tongue. It is a universal toothbrush and facilitates chewing and facilitates swallowing and aids speech and organ of taste and facilitate mixing of saliva, acts as a digestive organ. So with this we completed functions of the tongue. So in sequential order we are going to discussing about the parts present along the length of the alimentary canal. Among them, today in this lesson we finished from mouth to up to tongue. In oral cavity, one more structure is there, that is teeth. In next lesson, in next part, we will discuss about